Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This introduction is to introduce to you the PMO platform and to encourage you to stop using spreadsheets for enterprise project management operations. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign in here. We're going to sign in with the general super user admin account. And this is the landing page that an end user sees. Now mine looks a little bit different and yours will look a little bit different as well, but it'll look identical for you if you're a super admin. So this is going to show you with this account all of the features. There is role-based authentication on this, so there are multiple roles. If we add a user, I can just show you those roles very quickly. And so right here are the roles, which is super admin and admin, PMO admin, project manager, resource manager, team member, and of course, viewer. So different rights for different users. We have comprehensive documentation all in GitHub for you. Make sure that you read all of that. Plus, if you've downloaded the repo, then you'll have all of that documentation in the docs folder, which you will find pretty helpful. Okay, so that being said, overview, this is the dashboard kind of telling you what your projects are, what tasks you have, how many hours you've logged for the day, whether or not you're using or not using the Chrome extension. In this case, I need to go ahead and reconnect and re-authenticate my extension with the platform. It's now been connected. So now I can come over here, I can show my sidebar, and now I can start using my timers. It is highly secure, so it does have a shelf life, but it is invocated as soon as you click the button, which means as soon as I run a timer, it knows that it's running the timer. So if this becomes disconnected in the future, not to worry, because if you go back out to the dashboard, you now have a running timer and you can actually come over here to your time tracking tab and stop the timer right there. So timers are set there. Timers are set up in a way that are task-based. So if I come over here to settings where I create the timer shortcuts, you can see you'll give it a gobbledygook name. You'll fill out some information optionally if you want. You do have to, if you want to get the most out of this, pick a project and a task. So this is task-based billing, task-based time tracking, giving you a lot of granular use case. I covered this in the installation of the Chrome video, but in any event, I'll quickly go over it again. With this now chosen, you can give it a group name. Groups are these groupings that you're seeing over here on the sidebar. And then, of course, the icons and things are there. If you want to pin it to the pop-up, that pop-up is this right here, and this allows you to simply not dock the sidebar, but just quickly execute one of these. So toggling this switch will get you over there. So that'll cover the timer piece of it. If I am in a project, and as an administrator, we'll just pick on this. This gives us all of the information about the project, all of the different tasks, all of the teams that are assigned, and teams are like groups. So you have a team, maybe an alpha team, a beta team, or whatever team to deliver on a certain type of delivery, or maybe you have teams, multiple teams working, but you need to have a good cohesion between your groups. You'll assign those teams to the project, and then you don't necessarily have to do individuals to assign them to the project. But if you so choose to use a combination, which is what you're seeing here, the Dynamos for DevOps has 9 members. The backend brigade is consisting of 45 members. And then we have Margaret Ashley and, of course, system administrator myself in on the project as individuals. There's phases, there's milestones, and this just gives you the detail as to what the company is, when it was created, when this project was last updated. And you can continue to add tasks to the project. And when you add a task, you can assign the task to an individual, and in doing so, it will create them a assigned tasks group, and it will assign to them a button having to do with the task. That way they can very easily and granularly check and record their time accordingly. The other thing that is super important is capacity planning. Now, when you're capacity planning, this is the biggest challenge, and this is the whole reason for this platform. So this will give a number of hours logged. Now, we're currently in this month. Let me go over to the previous month, has a little bit better data. We've got average utilization, team members underutilized. This is kind of letting us know that we don't have enough work for the staff that we have. This is giving us information about capacity by department. And so this is good because the capacity and the actual usage of that is showing that operations is perfectly sized. They're not getting killed. They're not getting burnt out. But product, this is a problem. This team, the people that are assigned to this department are getting burnt out because the product department in and of itself has scheduled too much work. This is kind of an oxymoron in terms, it's like over the top, right? Hopefully this isn't happening for your company, but these are some excessive, and all of this is just demo data to illustrate this. You get the total capacity for the entire company stack that you have here, and gives you your average utilization. So you're basically, this number is telling you that you're short-staffed. You need to increase the capacity amongst your team members to not be so bad. The killer is this unassigned one, which is just garbage data that I put in there that kind of really sent everything over the top. But in any event, these are your team members that are underutilized. So we can see critical, low, moderate, optimal, things of that nature. And so if we come over here to this month, actually, this demo data, I forgot, I reseeded it. And in any event, we got the optimal ones, we got the moderates, we got the lows, we got the criticals, thank God there's nobody there, and then over allocated. These are your team members that are getting burnt out. And if you burn them out too long, you're going to wind up losing them, and you'll wind up having to replace them, which is kind of a problem. Because we got 8 people here that are underutilized, and these 8 people hopefully would be able to share the load. Down here at the bottom, you have your time off requests, which will help in your capacity planning, let you know what's been approved, what hasn't been approved, things of that nature. And this all comes into scope with regards to who is actually allocated to what. The other thing here is the analytics. This is super powerful and very popular because right here you have a available capacity. 49 team members have capacity for additional work. And this is kind of letting you know what's going on. So the problem here is that these people are underutilized, and at the same token, there's work that's being needed by your organization that you're either going to have to go to market with, or you're going to have to do something in order to kind of balance out what you've got going on in this company. So right now, what you probably want to do is skill up James in the area of front-end development, API, and DevOps. This will help them out tremendously. And this is using a skill set that is reminiscent or familiar to those that are in software development. This could be, you could be a builder, building commercial buildings. You might have architects, you might have, foremen, laborers, whatever. This platform is agnostic to any industry, so if you're in professional services or things of that nature, this data can simply morph to what you need it to be. But the key takeaway here is that you have a shortfall and these people are being underutilized. So you have a decision. You can either skill them up, put them on the bench, or release them and lay them off. And so you want to try to do everything you can in order to keep the staff that you have. It's much easier to train somebody typically on something new than it is to bring somebody else in. And lots of times, honestly, it's oftentimes cheaper than having to go to market because now you're having to pay today's market rate, whereas typically employees aren't normally kept up with current market rates. There's always behind. And so there are some cost savings to be had for your company there by retaining the current talent. Okay, that being said, you also get a high-level overview about your project portfolio, about planning, active, on hold, things of this nature. This is kind of giving you a landscape view over all of your projects. We don't have any top contributors because nobody's logged any time in this demo data. These are the department performance. Again, we've already covered that. Down here at the bottom, we have talent optimization. This is the skills and opportunities. We've got resource management overviews. And again, this is just showing you red flags and or suggestions on how to deal with these and what this could mean for your business. And right now, this is huge. Obviously, this is costing your company $1.2, almost $1.3 million. And there's an opportunity to go for a round of layoffs. Otherwise, if you can sustain this for a period of time, because maybe you're in a lull and it'll pick up because you have a seasonal based business, then you've already factored this in and taking you to the next level. In any event, I've only scratched the surface with what is here. Have a tour, install the platform, figure out what the value is that it can do for you. Let me go ahead and stop this timer. And so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and send them through the form. We'll do our best to answer them as they come up. However, it is open source, so I encourage you to download your own copy, make it yours, change anything you want. It's free to use, always internally. It's not free if you decide that you're going to create this as a platform, as a service, and rebrand it and sell the work. Then you'll have to pay some sort of a fee arrangement. You'll reach out and we'll have a conversation about that. But if you're using this to make profit, to resell this app, repackage this app, or use any component of this app in your development, you will have to pay for it. Other than that, that's it. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.